You ever think your morning's going to be the same as every other day and then, bam, life just upends you before sunrise? Yeah, that's what happened to me. You know those mornings when the world feels so quiet, so private, you could almost forget you run an empire? That was me, Jason Carter, rolling into my luxury gym before the city even blinked awake, ready for that little slice of peace before the suits and trainers started crowding my day. Except peace was the last thing I found when I walked in and saw two tiny little girls, couldn't be more than 7 or 8 in their knees, scrubbing down the machines with those bright red rubber gloves that looked way too big for their hands. Let me back up a sec, me gyms, not some neighborhood hangout. We're talking marble floors, eucalyptus in the air, membership costs that'd make you laugh if you knew the truth behind those polished ads. This place was my pride, my safe haven, and I was used to seeing it spotless, sure. But not like this. Not with two kids in yellow janitor suits, quietly erasing someone else's sweat before the sun even hit the windows. It was so out of place, I almost thought I was dreaming, standing there with my earbuds still dangling from my neck, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. The way they moved, careful, practiced, totally silent, made me feel like I'd stumbled onto something private, something raw. I knelt down, tried to sound calm. Hey there. You girls okay? Why are you working here? One looked up, big blue eyes, face set like she was already used to being talked down to. For a minute, I didn't think she'd answer. Then, so matter of fact it broke my heart, she said, "Our mom works here, but she's in the hospital. We're helping so she doesn't lose her job." You ever have a kid look at you like that? Not scared, just resigned? It'll gut you, I promise. I try not to show it, but something in my chest went cold. All those years, building a place for the city's elite, never once thinking someone's whole life could hang on a single shift. I found out their names were Emma and Ellie twins, which only made it harder to look away. The more I watched, the more it stung. I remembered my own mom, hands cracked from years of cleaning, doing whatever it took so I wouldn't have to. Suddenly, these girls looked a lot like me a long time ago, before the penthouse and the power. I knew right then I wasn't just going to let this slide. You know what I mean? Some lines you just can't ignore. I corner Carla at the front desk. She's young, runs the morning shift, good kid but not built for confrontation. I could tell right away she knew. She explained, voice shaking, that their mom, Claire, had been in the hospital for 2 weeks, and the girls showed up with her keys. Said if they didn't clean, their mom would lose her job. No orders, no adult asked them to do. Ithy just showed up, invisible and desperate. Carla looked like she wanted me to fire her on the spot for not stopping them. I just shook my head and walked away. What could I say? This wasn't about rules anymore. Back on the gym floor, I told the girls, "You don't have to do this. Your mom's job isn't going anywhere, I promise." Emma just twisted those gloves, not sure whether to trust me. I got them off the floor, set them up in the break room with hot cocoa, and called the hospital myself. Got the full story. Claire's collapse wasn't just exhaustion. Malnutrition, untreated infection, stress. No family except her girls. That hit me hard. I called my assistant, cleared my schedule, arranged the best care money could buy. No red tape, no questions. Just get it done. That afternoon, after the gym filled with clients who'd never know a thing about what happened that morning, I made sure Emma and Ellie had someone safe to watch them, then went straight to the hospital. Hospitals have a way of making everything you think you control feel small. The antiseptic, the hum of machines, the looks from nurses when they realize you're someone with power, but maybe not the right kind. Claire looked tiny in that bed, pale and worn down, not weak but done. When a nurse told me she'd been running on fumes for years, something just cracked inside. I told them, no more. Whatever she needs, just do it. I'll cover everything. The nurse stared, not judging, just seeing right through me. She's overdue for some kindness, I said, and meant every word. I sat with Claire a while. I barely knew her, just a name on a schedule, a quiet worker who never asked for anything. It made me realize how easy it is to go your whole life not seeing the people who hold up your world. Before I left, I promised her even if she couldn't hear Met Hatter girls were safe, that she could finally rest. Back home, the silence in my apartment hit me differently. I used to love that stillness. Now it felt empty, I pulled out an old album, flipping through pictures of my mom, seeing echoes of Emma and Ellie in those faded smiles. It's funny, the way a moment can drag you back to your own beginnings, remind you how close you came to falling through the cracks. By morning, I made a decision I wasn't just going to pay bills and disappear. I was going to be present, whatever that meant. I showed up at the girls' apartment the next day. Their caretaker, Teresa, let me in. The place was cramped, kid chaos everywhere, but it felt like home in a way I hadn't felt in years. Emma and Ellie sat on the floor, coloring when they saw me. It was like they'd expected me all along. Ellie showed me her drawing. 2 girls and a tall man with the gym's logo on his shirt. "You're helping us," she said. So simple it knocked the air out of me. That day, I packed their bags, brought them to my place. Redesigned guest rooms became a bedroom and a playroom, filled with soft blankets and books. A tutor started that night, someone who got kids, not just curriculum. When Emma hugged me and whispered, "I've never had my own bed," I knew this wasn't a temporary fix. They needed stability, not charity. That night, I sat outside their door, just listening to their laughter, realizing I was the one being healed. Claire woke up 2 days later, scared and confused, and I was their first face she saw. I told her straight, "Your girls are safe, they're with me." She tried to apologize for the mess, for needing help, but I stopped her. "This isn't failure. You've done more than anyone should have to." She cried. I held her hand, and the world got a little softer. I arranged her recovery, therapy for the girls, even a private tutor, all under the radar. When she argued, I told her this wasn't about pity or image. It was about respect. When Claire and her daughter's video called for the first time, all 3 cried, relief pouring out in waves. I watched from the side, giving them space. Over the next few weeks, Claire got stronger, her face filled out, her voice steadied, her posture opened up. The girls thrived. Our home became noisy, alive, full of the kind of chaos I'd forgotten I missed. We started dreaming bigger, launching the Blake program, a new initiative in my company, named after Claire. Free childcare, job placement, education for women like her. She ran it, I funded it, and together we built something real. There were fights. She wanted practicality, I wanted innovation, but every disagreement just meant we cared. The girls grew confident, started speaking up, filling the place with art and laughter. The day we cut the ribbon on the first Blake Center, it wasn't just a press event. Emma and Ellie stood on stage, and Ellie said into the mic, "We're not scared anymore, because now we know we're not alone." Not a dry eye in the crowd, including mine. At home, life settled into something beautiful and unpredictable. Some nights, Claire and I would sit on the couch, tea in hand, not talking, just sharing the quiet. Sometimes she'd ask what came next, and I'd tell her, whatever we build together. It wasn't a fairy tale, wasn't always easy, but it was honest, earned, and ours. People said the Blake program was a PR move. Some called it charity. But for us, it was a promise kept kids safe, mothers seen, a future written by hands that used to scrub floors in silence. The best part? I didn't save anyone. We saved each other, building a family from the pieces the world overlooked. So what do you think, huh? Is that justice? Is it enough? Or do we still have miles to go before the world stops making kids invisible just because their parents struggle? I want to know, where do you stand? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me what justice means to you. And let's see if maybe, just maybe, we can start something real together.